Good afternoon. Today, as always, very interesting information. The Shaolin are truly mysterious individuals. From their modest beginnings in the Henan provision of China, their way of life has kept on pushing the constraints of the human brain, body, and spirit. After a horrible fire in 1929, quite a bit of their barely written history was lost. Be that as it may, a priest named Jin Jingzheng assembled many years of living information. With favors from the head of Shaolin, the training methods of the 72 arts of Shaolin was made. You may address what number of these were genuine, however they're all interesting. 1. An understudy will require an uncommon preparing accomplice for this investigation, a completely developed tree. The practice is sufficiently straightforward. Fold one's arms over the tree and pull until your vitality is altogether exhausted. After the primary year, progress will start to appear. The initial step to dominance is the capacity to shake free a couple of leaves of the tree. One more year of the understudy shaking leaves from the tree must pass a similar force, ceaselessly. The understudy must proceed for an incredible duration with this training, just arriving at dominance once they have totally evacuated the tree. Even the little trees utilized for this preparation requires massive consistent power through the span of years to relax the roots. On the off chance that an ace of this training ever fastens his adversary as he does the tree, deadly injury can happen without any problem. 2. There is an explanation. Headbutting is prohibited in sports, for example, blended combative techniques, the danger of horrible cerebrum wounds. The notable Shaolin Iron Head anyway suggests these kind of blows as well as endorses them as a customary preparing routine. Understudies fortify the frontal bones, transient bones, and top of the skull to a close to superhuman unbending nature, equaling that of stone. The objective is genuinely essential: knock objects into your head, and your head into objects gradually and continuously over years to reinforce the bones in the skull. With many miniaturized scale breaks joined with recuperating and reiteration, the bones reshape to the weight and can turn out to be amazingly versatile. Nonetheless, this can take many long periods of day-by-day practice to accomplish, each time with the danger of perpetual injury. The first fundamental preparing routine suggested in the procedure of the Shaolin includes enveloping one's head by silk and tenderly slamming the head against a stone divider. Following 1 year, the understudy will evacuate a couple of layers of silk and proceed with the procedure for at least 100 days. From that point forward, the silk is expelled totally. From here, understudies will rehearse with increasingly extraordinary strategies, for example, thumping the skulls together for a considerable length of time, breaking solidified squares on their heads, and in any event, resting in headstand positions. Explicit activities and methods to fortify the sanctuaries, mouth, and eyes follow this procedure as well, in an uncommon model. A Shaolin priest has held an electric drill to his sanctuary for 10 seconds and rose solid. 3. Preparing for the iron ball system, at the most fundamental level, starts with scratching one's own stomach, day by day and daily, with the fingers and palms from the outset, and cutting edges. This is finished during preparing and rest the same. After adequate skin solidifying, one continues to strike profoundly and proceed with blades scratching the stomach and obliques when blows no longer render torment. Hammers are utilized, wooden from the outset, slowly overhauling into iron. A priest will stand still as individual understudies convey full power hits to the stomach with iron mallets. This will proceed for a long while. There are further developed preparing strategies, for example, thumping a ringer, where a priest will assimilate blows from a log battering smash gauging several kilograms. It is said bosses of this method will have the option to suffer strikes, cuts, slices, and even cuts to the stomach without a solitary scratch, even the capacity to withstand blows conveyed by the immortals themselves. 4. Following 40 years of serious Shaolin preparing and contemplation, Shi Hazi would meander the nation, visiting each cloister in the northern and southern areas. And no man had the option to conquer him. The legend claims it is because of this technique, at the earliest reference point when Shi Hazi began preparing, he draped a load from a tree limb on a way that he voyaged every day. Each time he passed the weight, he would push his finger into it, from the most extreme conceivable separation, his fingertips marginally brushing the surface. The weight would swing. Following quite a while of this, and consistent reflection, he found that when pushed his finger, regardless of whether he didn't genuinely contact the weight, it would swing. After this, he would think, while striking his fingers at lights. From the start, the fire would just influence. Yet he would rehearse for quite a long time regardless. Before long, he could douse the fire. He would put paper conceals around the light, and is said to have had the option to puncture the paper and smother the fire from a separation. Following 10 years of this preparation, he supplanted the paper conceals with glass ones. At the point when he could stifle the fire without breaking the glass, his point was accomplished. 5. As a youngster, the priest Hal Tank visited Chicago, where he showed his aptitude, a handstand, his whole body weight, on one forefinger. The frail muscles in the pointer ought to fold, and the bones should snap under the strain. This is a serious, astonishing accomplishment for a youngster. However, what really makes this accomplishment unfathomable is the point at which the priest was archived playing out this expertise more than 50 years after the fact. About 90 years old, the amazing priest Hal Tank had the option to recreate his mind-boggling one-finger handstand, his diamond finger. His balance is stunningly serene during the demonstration. Somewhere down in contemplation, he adjusts unflinchingly on his fingertip, until his demise in 1989. He was as yet the main man ready to play out this method. In spite of the fact that he has currently perished, this amazing priest gave an uncommon, reported exhibit of Shaolin aptitude and an entrancing look into the universe of Shaolin. Subscribe to the channel and click on the bell. See you soon, and don't be sick.